Hey guys, I get asked about nutrition all the time, and I just wanted to kind of break down the different components of nutrition that come into play while you're running. So a lot of people ask about nutrition before, after, and during the run. Like that's kind of like the big part that they are curious about. But in reality, the part that is the most important is going to be what you're eating throughout the rest of the day. What are you eating in your other 24 hours in the day or 23 hours in the day besides the time right before, after, and during your run? That's going to be really important. There can't be a lot of meal skipping. You really have to be diligent about drinking water throughout the day, eating enough throughout the day, making sure that your body's fueled for these high mileage runs, because you are burning a lot of calories when you go out on these runs, and your body needs to have enough fuel in it to function. So if you're skipping meals, if you're skipping dinner just because you had a big lunch and you're not thinking constantly about everything that's going to happen if you skip that meal, or if you overindulge here and you try to skip a meal, that sort of thing is it's not good. If you had a big lunch and you skip dinner and then you have a workout in the morning, these are all things that you need to be thinking about. So if you had a big lunch, you skip dinner, and you have a big workout in the morning, you're going to need to be thinking, maybe do you eat a snack before bed? Are you going to get up extra early to make sure that you eat before your workout? Because it's going to be difficult for you to do that workout if you went from not eating from noon the prior day to your workout that morning. And you need to be fueling properly, and your body needs to have enough food in it to function. I know some people who have not eaten a dinner the day before a marathon, which is mind-blowing to me. But it is so important that you eat your meals throughout the day. Even if they're small meals scattered throughout the day, that's fine. But it is so important that you are getting enough calories, because you will tank. You will. Trust me. So what I would recommend doing is downloading the app MyFitnessPal to your phone, and that app is super helpful. It'll tell you exactly how many calories you should be eating every day, given your exercise levels and everything like that. And then you can log in your food, make sure you're getting enough, and really be conscientious about what you're putting in your body throughout the day. Sure, you can indulge and have snacks. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you have to have a super perfect diet. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, if you're going to go and start skipping meals and doing stuff like that, it is going to affect your training, period. So now that we got that out of the way, we can skip to the part that everyone asks me about all the time. What do I eat before, during, and after my run? So if you're running in the morning, what a lot of people do in the morning if they run is they run fasted. And so what that means is basically you eat dinner, maybe even a snack after dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you have some water, coffee, you get out the door and you do your run. You do not eat a breakfast per se, or even something at all before your run. That's totally fine. It's running on low glycogen storages. There's benefits to it. That being said, there's a lot of people that run in the morning that do eat before they run, and I do it occasionally. If I wake up and I'm hungry, I go ahead and I eat. It's not like I'm forcing myself every day to go and run fasted. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. I think that if you're hungry in the morning, you should definitely eat something, because it's going to be miserable running when you're hungry. So there's really no point in like fasting yourself or whatever during a run. It's important to be fueled. So you might eat something light, and you probably know what's going to work best for you. What works for me is an English muffin and some peanut butter. Some people can do cereals or like yogurt and stuff before runs, but that does not sit well with me. Chances are you know what sits well with you, and you can kind of go off of that. I like to do something that's a little bit higher in carbohydrates, so that when I'm running, it serves as better fuel. So then I get out the door, but I would wait probably, for me, it also depends on how much you're eating. So I would eat a very small amount of that, because even a small amount settling in your stomach, I would eat like one English muffin. You know, like that's my pre-run fuel with peanut butter on it. Or you might eat half of a granola bar. I don't know what's going to sit well with your stomach. If you can eat like 2 granola bars and you still feel hungry and you can go on a run, then that's fine. But some people have a little bit more sensitive stomachs, so be aware of that, and just know that, you know, the more that you're eating, the longer that you're going to have to wait to do your run. So I like to do something that's smaller, and then I can do my run a little bit quicker because I'm kind of in a rush in the morning. So we'll skip to what I do after a run. So anytime you're going on a run, and especially a hard run, I like to recover with something that is high in protein and carbohydrates, because both of those, well, you're using carbohydrates when you're running, and you also need to repair your muscles that have had damage done to them during your run with protein. And so something like protein shake or something that has maybe fruit in it with some natural carbohydrates in it is a really great recovery drink. I mean, you can even have some eggs. It doesn't necessarily need to be a shake. Whatever you like to eat, I suggest you eat that. Whatever sits well with you, whatever is convenient for you, as long as it's high in protein, carbs. That's what you need after your run. So what you need during your run, I don't really think that anyone needs to be super concerned about that unless you're running for over 60 to 90 minutes. That's kind of when the whole during your run fueling comes into play. There's lots of different products out there. Everyone has their own personal favorites. If you go to any local running store, you can see hundreds of different brands of these. You know, Honey Stingers, Cliff Shots, Cliff Bar, chews, gels. They're all out there. They're all pretty much the same thing. It's going to be some glucose and then, you know, like sugar and carbs basically to get you through the remainder of your workout. It's just calories quick, basically. Personally, what I like the thicker gels, and I'm not even sure the brand that I use. It just has to be thick because I don't like the liquidy ones. It just seems weird. You really have to experiment and find what works for you. So those are beneficial if you're going. I don't use them unless I'm going over 2 hours. But a lot of people will use them if they're going over 60 minutes. That's maybe what I would recommend to a beginner. If you're going for longer than an hour, you can maybe take one at the 45-minute mark just to kind of like get your body used to it. If you are wanting to train for a marathon or half like in your future and you have an hour-long run, that might be a good time to maybe start experimenting with goos and gels and see kind of what you like and what sits with you. Another time when they come into play, obviously, is when you're in the middle of marathon training. So what I always tell my athletes is if you're going on a 90-minute run, I would take one at like the 50-minute mark and then do another one at like the 70-minute mark. If you're going on a 2-hour run, I would do one again at like the 45-ish minute mark. Then again around 65, 70 minutes. And then you can do another one at about 90 minutes if you're going on a 2-hour run. If you're going on a 2.5-hour run, it just kind of keeps progressing from there. And you would take one every, 30 to 45 minutes depending on everything. But that should get you through. And that's really all that you need for fueling during. If you're getting into the ultra marathon distance, it's definitely a totally different ballgame when it comes to nutrition. And you're going to need to have a lot more calories. Pretty much taking in like full meals while you're running. So that's a completely different subject. But I hope that this was somewhat beneficial to the people that have been asking about it. And if you've ever been curious. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions.